Have you ever sat down and wondered, is it normal to feel less spark than I used to? Or maybe you've quietly asked yourself, is my body just slowing down? If so, you're not alone. This isn't just a whisper in your mind. It's something millions of people over 60 experience, but rarely talk about. Intimacy doesn't end when we hit a certain birthday. Desire doesn't retire. But it's true. Our bodies change, and with those changes come new challenges. The good news? There are simple, natural ways to reignite that fire. And many of them start right in your kitchen. That's right. What you eat can directly affect your energy, your hormones, and even your confidence in the bedroom. And no, I'm not talking about magic pills or anything fancy. I'm talking about real, everyday foods that nourish your body and support the systems that keep your passion alive, physically and emotionally. So if you're here, maybe you're looking to feel more connected with your partner again. Maybe you miss the spark you once had. Or maybe you're just curious about how to feel more alive, more energetic, more like yourself. Whatever brought you here, I'm glad you showed up. Because today, we're going to talk about something deeply personal, incredibly natural, and entirely possible. Let's begin with something delicious, dark chocolate. Now, I'm not telling you to raid the candy aisle. I'm talking about real dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher. It turns out, that little piece of indulgence isn't just a treat. It's a libido-friendly powerhouse. Dark chocolate is packed with flavonoids, which help improve blood flow throughout the body, including, yes, the areas that matter most for intimacy. It also boosts serotonin and dopamine, two brain chemicals that help you feel relaxed and happy. That warm, fuzzy feeling you get after a bite of dark chocolate, that's not just in your head, it's in your hormones. And when you feel good in your mind, your body follows. But there's more. Chocolate also contains phenylethylamine, sometimes called the love chemical. It's the same substance your brain releases when you're falling in love. A small square after dinner could be more than just dessert. It might be a soft spark of connection waiting to happen. Just remember, moderation is key. 1 or 2 squares is enough to reap the benefits without tipping into sugar overload. Now let's talk about something less sweet, but just as powerful, avocados. Creamy rich and full of healthy fats, avocados are nature's gift to aging bodies, especially when it comes to intimacy. They're high in vitamin B6, which helps regulate hormones and reduce stress. That alone can have a big impact on libido, since stress is one of the biggest romance killers out there. But avocados also pack potassium and folate, both of which support healthy blood circulation, absolutely vital for arousal and physical response. Have you ever noticed how good you feel after a fresh salad with slices of avocado? It's not just your taste buds celebrating. Your heart is pumping stronger, your mind feels clearer, and your body is better prepared to respond when the moment is right. Whether you're adding a few slices to your breakfast toast or blending them into a smoothie, avocados are a simple way to nourish both body and desire. And speaking of heart healthy, let's not overlook something small but mighty, nuts, particularly walnuts and almonds. These little guys are packed with zinc, selenium, and omega-3 fatty acids, all crucial for maintaining hormone balance and supporting testosterone production. Yes, even women need a healthy level of testosterone for libido. It's not just a male hormone. It plays a big role in energy, desire, and satisfaction for everyone. You don't need a mountain of nuts, just a small handful a day. Maybe it's a few almonds with your afternoon tea, or some chopped walnuts sprinkled on your yogurt. These tiny changes can build up over time, helping your body feel stronger, more vital, and more responsive when closeness calls. But food isn't just fuel. It's communication. It's care. It's even a kind of intimacy on its own. Think about this. Sharing a meal with your partner. Preparing something together, even just enjoying the quiet of breakfast side by side. That's all part of the connection. And when the food you're sharing is actually boosting your libido and supporting your hormones, That's when the magic really begins. Now, here's one you might not expect: watermelon. Yes, that juicy summertime favorite isn't just refreshing. It's also known in some research circles as nature's Viagra. Why? Because it contains a compound called citrulline, which can help relax blood vessels and improve blood flow. That can make a real difference in physical arousal, especially as we get older and our circulation isn't quite what it used to be. And here's the best part: watermelon is light, hydrating, and easy to enjoy in so many ways. You can eat it fresh, toss it into a salad with mint and feta, or even blend it into a smoothie. Plus, it's gentle on the stomach, making it a wonderful choice if heavier meals tend to leave you feeling sluggish rather than sparked. But more than just its biology, watermelon brings a sense of joy. It reminds us of summer days, of being carefree, of sweetness and fun. And sometimes, that feeling alone, the memory of being young and playful, is enough to rekindle something beautiful inside us. So we've dipped into chocolate, scooped out some avocado, crunched a few nuts, and sliced into watermelon. Each of these foods may seem simple on its own, but together, they start to build something bigger, a feeling of energy, of balance, of possibility. And maybe that's what matters most. Because the truth is, intimacy at 60 or 70 or 80 isn't about performance or pressure. It's about presence. It's about listening to your body, caring for it with love, and giving it the nourishment it needs to feel open, alive, and ready. Let's keep going. There's more to explore, more delicious ways to feed the fire inside you. One fruit that quietly holds incredible power when it comes to intimacy is the humble pomegranate. At first glance, it's just a round red fruit with little ruby seeds inside. But once you crack it open and taste its tart sweetness, you'll know there's more going on beneath the surface. What makes pomegranates so special is their rich supply of antioxidants, specifically ones that promote healthy blood vessels and protect against inflammation. Why does that matter? Because good blood flow is key to intimacy, and inflammation, well, that's one of the biggest roadblocks our bodies face as we age. Studies have shown that pomegranate juice may actually help improve testosterone levels, which, as you may remember, plays a role in both male and female libido. But here's something even more interesting. Pomegranates can also support mood. Feeling emotionally connected and confident is just as important as the physical side of things. When you feel good emotionally, your body tends to respond more easily. So whether it's a glass of fresh pomegranate juice with breakfast or a spoonful of seeds sprinkled on your oatmeal, this is one fruit worth adding to your daily rhythm. And while we're speaking of emotional connection, let's talk about something warm, soothing, and often overlooked: herbs and spices. It might surprise you, but the little things you sprinkle on your food can have a big effect on your energy, circulation, and even your desire. Take cinnamon, for example. Not only does it help regulate blood sugar, keeping your energy steady instead of crashing after meals, but it also warms the body and improves blood flow. Then there's ginger. That spicy little root has been used for centuries in cultures all over the world, not just for cooking, but for love. Ginger stimulates circulation and digestion, two things that slow down as we age. And when your blood is flowing well, and your stomach feels light, your whole body becomes more receptive to closeness and pleasure. Even saffron, a golden spice once reserved for royalty, has been linked to improved mood and desire. Just a pinch in your rice, tea, or soup could bring not only flavor, but also a subtle shift in how you feel. But maybe you're wondering, is it really this simple? Can food actually make me feel more connected, more in tune with myself and my partner? The answer is yes, not overnight, not like a magic switch, but over time, absolutely. Because when you take care of your body with intention and consistency, it rewards you in quiet but powerful ways. Your skin glows a bit more. Your energy returns in little waves. And most importantly, you start to feel like yourself again, not a number or a stereotype, but a living, breathing, feeling human being. And here's another key part of that journey: oily fish. Think salmon, mackerel, sardines. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which are fantastic for heart health, hormone balance, and mood regulation. All three of those directly affect your capacity for intimacy. When your heart is healthy, your blood flows better. When your hormones are balanced, your body sends the right signals. And when your mood is steady, you're more open to connection. Don't worry if you're not a huge fish fan. You don't need to eat it every day. Just a few servings a week can make a big difference. And if cooking fish sounds intimidating, you can try it canned, baked, or even in a spread with some whole grain crackers. Simple steps, remember? This isn't about reinventing your entire kitchen. It's about making small choices that add up to a richer, fuller experience of life. And let's not forget the role of leafy greens. Yes, the kale, spinach, arugula, and even the simple romaine. These greens are loaded with nitrates, which help improve blood flow, much like the effects of certain intimacy-enhancing medications. But here, you're doing it naturally, gently, through food that fuels every cell in your body. Think about how different your body feels after a meal heavy in processed food compared to a light, fresh plate of greens with lemon, olive oil, maybe a little grilled chicken or salmon. One leaves you sleepy, sluggish, distant. The other makes you feel lighter, brighter, and more present. That presence is everything when it comes to deep connection. Sometimes we forget, especially in later years, that our bodies are still capable of so much joy. They may move slower, ache a little more, but the core of who we are, the part that longs for touch, closeness, and affection, that never leaves. It just needs a little encouragement, a little attention, a little kindness, even in the form of what we place on our plate. You see, intimacy isn't just a goal. It's a practice. It's how we relate to ourselves, how we treat our own bodies, and how we nourish our daily lives. The more we fill ourselves with foods that support vitality, balance, and warmth, the more natural it becomes to reach for someone's hand, to lean into a hug, to feel not only wanted but alive. And isn't that the real goal here? Not just to reignite something physical, but to remember that we're still deeply capable of passion, of tenderness, of feeling fully connected in ways that go beyond words. So as we continue, keep holding on to that thought. You are not done. Your best days aren't behind you. They're unfolding quietly, one good choice at a time. One of the most comforting truths about this stage of life is that we finally have the time to pay attention to ourselves, to our health, to the little details we used to rush past. And that includes what we eat, not just for survival, but for joy, connection, and yes, for intimacy. Now, we can't talk about foods that boost libido without mentioning garlic. I know, it might not be the first thing you think of when you're trying to set the mood, but hear me out. Garlic is rich in a compound called allicin, which can help increase blood flow. When blood circulates more freely, arousal becomes more natural, more responsive, more alive. And while the smell might make you hesitate, the benefits are well worth it, especially if both you and your partner are enjoying it together. A lovely homemade pasta with garlic, olive oil, and herbs could be your new romantic ritual. And if garlic sounds too bold, try onions. They have similar effects. Plus they're versatile, familiar, and add richness to meals. Both of these humble kitchen staples do more than flavor your food. They awaken something inside. Something primal. Something ready to engage again. Now let's turn to something soothing. Oats. A warm bowl of oatmeal might not sound particularly exciting, but for your hormones and emotional balance, it's pure gold. Oats help support testosterone levels and stabilize blood sugar, which means fewer crashes in energy and mood throughout the day. Add in a few slices of banana or some pomegranate seeds, and you're feeding both your body and your sense of pleasure at the same time. And speaking of pleasure, don't forget strawberries. There's something undeniably romantic about them. Whether you're dipping them in a little dark chocolate or enjoying them fresh on a sunny afternoon, strawberries are rich in vitamin C, which helps with blood flow, immune support, and stress reduction. They're light, refreshing, and can turn an ordinary moment into something just a little bit special. But here's the thing. It's not just the food itself. It's how you eat it. It's sitting down at the table with intention, maybe lighting a candle, maybe putting on music that reminds you of who you used to be, or better yet, who you still are. When we bring presence and care into our meals, we bring it into every part of our lives, including our relationships. You might be thinking, this all sounds lovely, but what if it's been a while? What if I'm starting from scratch? That's okay. There is no deadline for awakening your inner fire. You don't have to rush. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be curious enough to try. Maybe it starts with one new recipe, one shared dinner, one honest conversation. Maybe it starts by simply saying, I want to feel close again, and then building from there. Remember, libido isn't just about sex, it's about vitality. It's the energy that makes you want to dance in your kitchen, to smile at someone across the room, to laugh from your belly again. It's the part of you that still longs for connection and warmth. And that energy, that spark, is still there. It may be quieter now, tucked beneath the aches and routines, but it's never gone. And when you nourish your body with the right foods, that spark has a better chance of glowing brighter. Let's take a moment now to gently wrap our arms around everything we've talked about so far, not as a list of rules, but as an invitation. A handful of walnuts in the morning, a fresh salad with avocado and olive oil, a shared bowl of watermelon on the porch, a touch of cinnamon in your tea. None of these things require big changes. They simply ask for intention and maybe a little tenderness toward yourself. Because you deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel connected. You deserve to enjoy your body, your relationships, and the time you still have. And if you ever doubt that, if the mirror reflects something tired or unfamiliar, remember this. Your value is not measured by age. Your ability to feel pleasure is not erased by time. You are still capable of desire, of love, of being deeply touched in every sense of the word. Now, before we close, I want to leave you with this. Everything we've talked about today is about reclaiming, not just intimacy, but wholeness. Reclaiming your body as something worth caring for. Reclaiming your meals as opportunities for joy. Reclaiming your relationships as spaces for warmth and laughter. And maybe, reclaiming your reflection, not as a stranger, but as someone who still has a lot of love left to give. So take a deep breath. Let yourself feel that truth. And let that truth guide you to your next small choice. The food you reach for, the way you sit down at the table, the way you look at your partner, or the way you simply hold yourself with grace. You are never too old to feel fully alive. And if this video brought you even a little closer to that feeling, if it reminded you of your own light, then I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's lift each other up. If you found this helpful, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll keep exploring more ways to live fully, love deeply, and age with strength, softness, and soul. Here's to you, to your heart, your body, and the beautiful journey ahead. You're not fading. You're flowering. If you've made it this far, thank you. Truly. Thank you for showing up, for your body, for your heart, for the parts of yourself that may have been waiting quietly in the background for attention. Just by being here, you've done something powerful. You've chosen curiosity over resignation, hope over habit, and that choice, that one choice, can lead to something beautiful. Because here's the truth that often gets lost in the noise. Aging doesn't close the door on love, desire, or intimacy. It redefines it. It refines it. It deepens it. And when we embrace those changes, when we stop comparing ourselves to how things used to be, we open ourselves to a completely new kind of connection. One that's slower, more intentional, more real. And let's not underestimate the power of self-kindness in this process. It's easy to look in the mirror and see only what's changed. But what if, just for a moment, you looked for what's still glowing? The twinkle in your eye when you laugh. The softness in your smile when you remember something warm. The quiet strength in your voice when you speak your truth. Those are signs of a life that has been deeply lived, and that's incredibly attractive. Now, some people might ask, do these foods really work? And my answer is always the same. They support you. They give your body the tools it needs to function well, to balance hormones, to improve circulation, to lift your mood, to restore your natural rhythms. But beyond biology, these foods can become symbols of self-respect. When you choose nourishing meals, you're saying, I matter. My joy matters. And when you invite your partner to share in those meals, you create new opportunities for connection. Cooking together, laughing at the mess, sitting down without screens, just the two of you and a quiet conversation. These are the moments that build intimacy, not in grand declarations, but in the slow, steady return to presence. If you live alone, you can still experience this. In fact, nurturing your relationship with yourself is often the first and most important step. You can light a candle for no one but you. Pour a glass of tea or wine. Prepare a plate that looks beautiful, even if no one else will see it. Why? Because you're worth the effort. You're worth the softness. You're worth being cared for, even by your own hands. And yes, it's okay if some days feel harder. It's okay if your energy dips or the loneliness creeps in. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. And even in those moments, you can still return to the smallest comforts. A warm bowl of oatmeal. A walk in the sunshine. A phone call with someone who makes you laugh. Intimacy isn't only what happens in the bedroom. It's what happens when you let yourself be seen. By yourself, by others, by the world. It's the courage to say, I'm still here. I still feel. I still care. So if you're wondering where to begin, start simply. Choose one food from everything we've talked about. One small act of nourishment. One small moment of connection. You don't have to do it all at once. You just have to keep showing up. With love, with patience, and with the belief that this part of life can be rich, full, and deeply satisfying. And don't forget, your story doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Maybe you've been with the same partner for decades, or maybe you're starting over. Maybe you're rediscovering yourself after loss. Maybe you're exploring what it means to feel confident again in your own skin. There's no right path. There's only your path. And every step you take with intention becomes a victory. Let's walk this season of life with openness. Let's eat well, not to fix ourselves, but to support ourselves. Let's love deeply, not perfectly, but honestly. Let's make room for joy, not by trying to reclaim the past, but by fully living the present. If this video touched something inside you, if it helped you feel more seen, more hopeful, or simply less alone, I hope you'll leave a comment. Your voice matters here. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you'd like more videos like this, filled with heart, health, and healing, go ahead and click that subscribe button. There's so much more we can explore together. You've made it this far, and that tells me something important. You're not giving up on yourself. You're still learning, still growing, still reaching for something beautiful. And that is the most attractive thing of all. Here's to love. Here's to health. Here's to the intimacy that never truly leaves us. It just waits for us to say yes again. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You deserve it.